When using APA format for a paper, you'll be required to cite the original sources of any outside information you include. This is to give credit to the original authors and to avoid plagiarism. In this video, we'll discuss how to cite federal statutes. So what is a statute? A statute is a law or act passed by a legislative body. Statutes exist at the federal and state levels. The source for this is page 361 in the Publication Manual of the American Psychological Association, 7th edition. A federal statute is an act passed by Congress. Federal statutes are published in the United States Code, or USC. This is codified law. This page describes where federal statutes are published. www.senate.gov/legislative/how-to/us_code.htm. USC is divided into sections called titles. Titles are organized by subject matter and are further broken down by chapters and sections. You can find full text of the official United States Code on the web. Example, uscode.house.gov. Here's a way to locate full text of a law using this popular name tool at uscode.house.gov/popularnames/popularnames.htm. You can search and find federal and state statutes in our database, Nexus Uni, under Criminal Justice at library.cscc.edu/NexusUni. Okay, now I'll talk about federal statute references. A reference list entry for a federal or state statute includes the name of the act, the title or title number, source, abbreviated as specified in the Blue Book, section number of the statute, and, in parentheses, the publication date of the statutory compilation you used, for example, the USC. Optionally, you may also include the URL after the year. And in your reference list, federal or state statutes should be formatted as follows: name of act, comma, title source, section symbol, section number, parentheses, year, close parentheses, period, URL. The template for federal or state statutes, laws, and acts is name of act, comma, title source, section symbol, section number, parentheses, year, close parentheses, period, URL. Here's a reference list example for the federal statute Americans with Disabilities Act of 1990. Americans with Disabilities Act of 1990, comma, 42 USC, section symbol 12101, ET SEQ, period, parentheses, 1990, close parentheses, period, URL. Note, ETSEQ is Latin for "and what follows," and is a way of showing that the act covers not only the initial section cited, but also others that follow. You may see a public law number on the act, too. This number is used in the reference list entry for when the act is codified in scattered sections, or refers to an act before it is codified. If a statute has been codified in the United States Code, do not include the public law number in the reference. The book gives an example of the Civil Rights Act of 1964, which is in 3 scattered sections, 2 USC, 28 USC, and 42 USC. Include the public law number to cite the entire act. Civil Rights Act of 1964, pub period, L period, NO period, 88 through 352, comma, 78 stat period, 241, parentheses, 1964, close parentheses, period, followed by the URL. The parenthetical citation is parentheses, Civil Rights Act, comma, 1964, close parentheses, and a narrative citation will say Civil Rights Act, parentheses, 1964, close parentheses. Now we'll switch gears and talk about in-text citations. Just as a reminder, there are 2 different types of in-text citations, narrative and parenthetical. Let me explain the difference. You use a narrative citation when you incorporate the source information into the text of your paper. In that case, you would use the name versus name format in your paper, and then include the year in parentheses immediately after the case name. On the other hand, you would use a parenthetical citation when you don't include the case name in the narrative flow of your paper. In that case, you include in parentheses the case name, name versus name format, a comma, and then the year. Parenthetical citations can appear either within or at the end of a sentence. If it's at the end of a sentence, put a period after the end parentheses. Give the popular or official name of the act, if any, and the year of the act. Here are the 2 formatting options for in-text citations. Parenthetical citation, parentheses, name of act, comma, year, close parentheses. Narrative citation, name of act, comma, parentheses, year, close parentheses. Here are in-text citation examples. A parenthetical citation. Parentheses, Americans with Disabilities Act, 1990, close parentheses. And a narrative citation. Americans with Disabilities Act, parentheses, 1990, close parentheses. On a side note, determining the year to use can be confusing because the date may be different from the year in the name of the act. It could be the year the statute was first passed, it could be a year it was amended, it could be a year it was supplemented. However, the rule is you should use the year the statute was published in the source being cited. This concludes the library's video on citing federal statutes. If you need to cite state statutes, please review that video as well. If you need additional assistance, please feel free to contact a reference librarian. All our contact information is on this slide. Thanks for listening.